If you want financial freedom, here are easy, practical habits for you to create a realistic budget that you can stick to. I'm not just going to share what habits you can adopt, but also detailing how you can do it. So let's get right into it. Habit number 1 is focusing on your relationship with money by confronting yourself with your spending habits. There are many benefits to understanding your spending habits, and the 3 fundamental reasons are to highlight your spending issues, assist us with developing a realistic budget, and to keep to that realistic budget. One way for you to confront yourself with your spending habits is by seeing it in black and white. If you haven't tracked your spending recently, a great way to start is to extract a bank statement for the last 3 months. You can do this via your banking app, online banking, rummaging through your past emails, or just going to the bank. Once you have your bank statement in a spreadsheet, create columns called category and class. Allocate each line item to a category and class if you're choosing. To keep this video short, I have created a separate video to show you exactly how to analyze your spend using pivot tables in Excel. So if you don't already know how to slice and dice your financial data to get life-changing insights, please check out that tutorial. Categories assist us with making sense of how we spend our money. It also helps us to validate if we are spending our money appropriately according to our financial and life goals. Once you have analyzed your data, let the knowledge of your current spending habits influence the changes in your behavior necessary to reach your financial goals. Now that we have better insights into how we are currently spending our money, we can create a budget. Not just any budget, but a realistic budget that helps you live below your means, still find joy in life without feeling you are being restricted, and grow your financial portfolio. If you are complaining about money and you don't have a budget, that may be part of your problem. And if you tried creating one before and it didn't work for you, you may want to consider the following. The version of us creating the budget and the version of us spending the money are 2 very different people. The budget version is who we would like to be, and that version doesn't always have the best grasp of reality, while the spending version is who we are. If the gap between the 2 is monumentally different, you are setting yourself up for failure, as you are essentially asking yourself to make a monumental change within a 1-month period, which is usually the period that we use for budgeting. For instance, if the spending version of yourself is currently spending $1,000 a month on dining out, and your budget version says from now on I will only spend $200 a month, you may be creating an issue. To ascertain what a realistic amount for dining out should be, we need to understand the contributing factors of why it is 1,000 rands a month in the first place. If it is because you are extremely busy and you don't have time to cook, and the next month is going to be no different, you could perhaps reduce your dining out budget to 900, and the difference between who you are and who you would like to be is simply choosing more affordable meals. If it is 1,000 rands because you forgot to defrost whatever is in your freezer and ordering in then just becomes a convenience, then 200 is not that much of a stretch, because the difference between who you are and who you would like to be is simply setting a reminder to take something out of the freezer in the morning. Setting a budget goes hand in hand with changed behavior, and change is not always easy. So budget according to how much you are willing to change and how quickly you would like your financial portfolio to grow. Habit number 3 is to stop treating yourself as an afterthought and start paying yourself first. When we create our budgets, we often do it from a consumer perspective. I, the consumer, want goods or services, and I will happily pay a supplier to have it. We are extraordinarily comfortable with making somebody else rich, but a little reluctant to make ourselves rich. If we want financial freedom, we need to become our own supplier. As in, we need to take a portion of our income and pay it to ourselves, as opposed to giving it all away and starting from scratch each month. Paying ourselves first comes in the form of money-generating assets such as savings and investments. The point of habit number 3 is to allocate money in your budget to yourself first, and then figure out a way to fund the rest of the suppliers that comes in the form of wants and needs. A practical way for you to do this is to set up a direct debit or an automated payment to pay into your savings or your investment accounts as soon as you receive your income. A direct debit means that you are authorizing a company such as a financial institution to automatically take a certain amount out of your banking account. An automated payment means that you have set up a recurring payment via your banking app. This is great for moving funds from one account that doesn't earn a lot of interest to a higher interest yielding account, such as a unit trust. I like automating these things because it means that I am making financial decisions once. Financial decisions take a lot of cognitive effort, and if we have to make this decision every month, we will become decision fatigued and it will become a chore. It is important to know that our wants and needs have this magical way of consuming all of our income. This is what some call lifestyle inflation. For instance, when we get a raise, all of a sudden, magically, our bills become bigger. So we need to pay ourselves first to shrink this consumable income. And it doesn't have to be a massive amount. You can start small and increase it over time. Financial freedom is not bought with leftover money. Also think of investing your money for non-financial gains. So this is not investing in a financial product where you will get a financial return on investment like dividends or capital gains. This is allocating money in your budget first towards products and services that improves the quality of your life. For example, each month, I pay myself first in the form of reducing the mental and time-consuming burden that comes with running a household. So I've hired a housekeeper. While this service objectively may appear as a luxury item, and we've been taught that when you create a budget you need to consider luxury items last, investing in this service bought me peace of mind and time to do the important things I usually couldn't get to. So when creating your budget, you need to think bigger than just financial goals, as your financial goals do not live in isolation. Think of what are the things in life that makes you truly happy and make allowances for that in your budget without jeopardizing your overall financial health. Now that we have our budget, we need to stick to it, and that is habit number 4. When trying to stick to your budget, you need to be clear about your true north, which is your financial and other life goals. There are many temptations to blow your budget. It may, for instance, come in the form of friends and family who have expensive taste. It may even come in the form of your own taste and lifestyle. Don't go broke because of appearances or fear of missing out. Before we buy things to project a certain lifestyle, we need to buy assets. It should be your financial portfolio and not your lifestyle that reflects your income. Another temptation is impulse buying. There are many ways that marketers influence our urge to impulse buy. When I first got into the retail industry as a consultant, I was shooketh at the amount of research, development, and psychology that goes into getting the average consumer to spend more money. Merely experiencing the possibility of a lifestyle is enough to divorce that customer from their hard-earned cash. A sure way for you to fight the urge of grabbing something off a shelf is to have a shopping list, buying only the things that are on that list and going home immediately after. I also prefer shopping on my own because I tend to spend more money when I have company. Something else I like to do, if all else fail, is to add the item to my cart and closing the app. I hardly ever go through with the actual purchase because psychology teaches us that more often than not it is the anticipation of owning the item and not actually having the item that gives us that rush of excitement and happiness. Apart from saying no to temptation, another way to stick to your budget is to track what you have spent daily. You can do this old school like I am with my trusty old Excel that I've been using and modifying for the last 15 years, or you can make it more convenient with an app on your phone. Every few days when I am inspired to do so, I check out my spend via my banking app and make a bulk update to my tracker. I just make sure that I do this before I need to make a new purchase because I need to check how much I am still allowed to spend per category. Being over budget invites even more spend if you are not careful. Because our minds are telling us we have already overspent, so how much of a difference will another 100 or 200 really make? The categories where you have overspent tells you exactly where you may need to change behavior. It could also tell you that your budget was slightly unrealistic and needs adjustment. Either way, use the insights you are getting from tracking to get you closer to that financial freedom. If you're not into tracking your expenditure on a daily basis, you can adopt a less admin-intensive system. For instance, you can automate payments of your bills, savings and investment, and then whatever is left, you can spend freely by using a debit card. You need to make sure that your debit card does not have an overdraft facility, else you can be spending more than what you intended to. You must also buy all your essentials such as grocery staples in the first couple of days after you receive your income. Else you run the risk of being broke in the middle of the month, and when we are broke and we need something, that is when buying things on credit becomes really attractive. Before each purchase, ask yourself, is this in line with my financial goals? You must remember that more often than not, it is not the big ticket items that make us overspend, but the accumulation of little things. While it is imperative for us to take note where we are running the risk of overspending, we must also investigate areas where we are underspending. Places such as your savings, investments, retirement, and insurance are ones to look out for. I like to take this a step further and also like to track my net worth, not as a measure of success, but as a metric I can use to give some level of indication into my financial health. If you are organized and you have transparency on all your assets, such as investments, savings, cash in hands, and your liabilities, such as your home loan and your car loan, you can do a trend analysis on occasion to see if you're moving in the right direction. One thing to remember in the habit of sticking to your budget is that a budget is not a target. It is the upper limit of spending. Except perhaps for investments, there you may want to go all out, as it is your best defense against inflation and one of the most tried and tested strategies for growing your financial portfolio. Now, whenever I underspend in a category, I take that savings and make an additional payment on any investment or debt that I have. The road to financial freedom is not an event. It is a journey that starts with you being intentional about your finances and requires you to really think about how you are spending your money. And that's it for me today. If you have comments or questions, just pop them into the comment section. Like this, share this, subscribe to this. This is Dr. J signing off.